आम सुंदर हमारे यार लखन को जिया लल के
श्याम सुंदर हमारो यार लखन को जिया लल के
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 श्याम सुंदर. Even the hen is patient for 21 days to hatch its egg. We human beings can't be patient. All habits, they got created by practice. And the good news is all the habits can be recreated by practice. So it takes minimum of 14 to 21 days to create new neural pathways. And that is why with patience, keep on practicing Arjun. Sri Krishna is telling. Verse number 10. Abhyasepya samarthosi
अभ्यासेभ्य समर्थोऽसि
Matkarma paramo bhava
मत्कर्म परमो भव
Madarthamapi karmani
मदर्पि कर्माणि
Kurvan siddhimavapsyasi.
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि.
Translation. If you cannot practice remembering me with devotion, then just try to work for me. Thus performing devotional service to me, you shall achieve the stage of perfection. So first he said, absorb your mind in me. Impossible, Sri Krishna. Says, okay, practice absorbing your mind. Impossible, Sri Krishna. Even practice is easier said than done. This mind is so restless. You know, did anybody use televisions in India in the 1972-73? When they newly arrived, they used to have a channel knob and it would keep slipping. So there was only one channel, but it would keep slipping, and then sometimes it would come back, then it would disappear, then it would be a dot, then it would be lines like this, then again it would start slipping, then it would blank out. But that is the nature of our mind. We think of this and think of something else, and we think of some crazy thought, then again something else. In fact, the mind is wasting so much of its energy in distracted, unnecessary thoughts. Sometimes it is going worse. It is doing compulsive thinking. If this happens in the future, what will go? If this happens in the future, what will go? If this happens in the future, what will go? Now it's like that broken record repeating itself. So we people are unable to control this mind. Now you drive a car and you keep it on the proper lane. But if the car is shifting from here, there, going backward, forward, you say, what's happening here? Either the driver is inebriated and is driving in an intoxicated state, or else the machinery is broken, the axle rod is broken, so the steering wheel has lost control. Likewise, if our thoughts are going like this, like that, either the machinery is defective. Now there are very few people whose machinery is defective. Most of us, God has given us proper machinery, we have not learned to use it. But that is a challenge that is common to humankind. God has made this process so difficult. It is His wish that after a struggle, you reach that supreme goal. After repeated choices for perfection. So the conquest of the mind will be the most difficult conquest. Dwight Eisenhower was the US commander-in-chief of the Allied forces who secured victory in the Second World War. Now, Germany, the Nazi forces were defeated. But later on, Eisenhower struggled to defeat his own mind because he was addicted to some alcohol or something. And he said, now I have to battle within myself. And that was the bigger battle for him. So the mind has been compared to a monkey. How restless is the monkey? If you tie a scorpion on the monkey's tail, it will become even more restless. And if it has got hysteria on top of it, it will be out of control. And further give it some alcohol to drink, what will be the state of the monkey? Tulsidas says that is the state of my mind, O Ram. Graha grihit puni baat vash tapuni bichi mar puni piyaya varuni kahiya kaha upachar. So Shri Krishna, you say practice taking my mind to you, I am not able to sit in meditation. What do you have for a person like me? Shri Krishna says in that case, if you can't even do Abhyas Yoga, don't worry Arjun. You start working for me. Do your works as a service to me. Now, you are not using the Jnanendriyas, you are using the Karmendriyas. And this becomes such a joyous process because, see, when we have a festival and people are engaged in decorations, everybody is feeling so nice about it. When you have some work to do, okay, give out the prasad to the devotees, everybody who's doing seva is enjoying. It becomes a joyous way, physically engaging in work with the intention it is for him. That is what Sri Krishna said. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tad kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, Arjun, do it as an offering unto me. So that is why you can convert your whole daily routine into bhakti. One disciple asked Guruji, I am not able to take my mind to God. What to do? I am an athlete. Guruji said, run and think God is running with you. He said, Guruji, is it possible to do sadhana while walking? And walk and think God is walking alongside. Guruji, can we do sadhana while standing? Of course, stand and make God stand in front of you. Guruji, can we also do sadhana while sitting? Absolutely, sit in front of God. The question is that you add God to your daily activities. That is why we have these verses, right? Samudra vasane devi parvatas tanamandite Vishnu patni namastubhyam padasparsham kshamasvame. The moment you wake up, get out of bed, you place your feet on the earth. From that point you start creating divine consciousness. O Bhumi Devi, you are the wife of Vishnu. This whole world is your form. I am placing my feet on you. Please forgive me for the offenses. Now, the moment you create those thoughts, you will make a sacred sentiment towards your life. In this way, Sri Krishna says, add God consciousness to your works. The work is the same, jhadu. Now when you do jhadu at home, what is the consciousness? What is this Pappu makes it all dirty? Pappu's papa is exactly the same, oh ho. And there was one cleaning that Shabari used to do. Because Matang Rishi said, you stay right here and Ram will come and give you darshan. She believed her Guru. Every day she would wake up and clean the whole pathway. Maybe today Ram will come. Today may be the day that he will come to my humble dwelling. Now each of you can do that. When you are cleaning your house, think, what if Ram were to come to my house? Let this be his temple. I am cleaning it for his sake. When you are cooking, think, I am going to offer it to God. And then take the remnants as his prasad. So your cooking will also become a service. In fact, Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj says, go a step further. Even if you have to scratch yourself, don't scratch for your bliss. Add God to it. Sri Krishna is standing and he is laughing. Okay, Sri Krishna, laugh, and for your sake I am scratching. Somehow or the other, add God. Uddhav in the 11th canto has challenged Maya. He says, Tvayopabhukta srigandha vaso lankara charchita uchishta bhojano dasas tava mayanjayemahi. He says, oh Sri Krishna, I will accept everything as your prasad. All the clothes that I am offering to you and taking your prasad, all the food, all the water. And by your prasad, I will challenge your Maya that scares even big yogis and munis by absorbing my mind in you. So Arjun, you can do this much. Yes, Maharaj. But then Sri Krishna goes even further. He says, okay, if you can't even do this much, then what? Let's see the next verse. Athaitadapya shaktosi
Athaitadapya shaktosi
kartum madyogamashritah
kartum madyogamashritah
sarva karma phalatyagam
sarvakarmapalatyagam
tatah kuru yatatmavan.
tatah Guru yatatmavan.
Translation: if you are unable to even work for me in devotion, then try to renounce the fruits of your actions and be situated in the self. So interesting. So, first he said, absorb your mind in me. Then he says, if you can't do that, practice. Then if you can't do that, work for me. But even working for God requires a faith that I have my relationship with Him. He is the enjoyer of the fruits of my actions. Now, what about someone who doesn't have this faith? What about someone who says, I am not so sure there is any God? How come they'll offer everything to God? So Sri Krishna says, look, just do this much. Detach yourself from the fruits of your works. This much you can do. When we are working, our consciousness is always fruitive. This is for my enjoyment, this is for my pleasure. So Sri Krishna says, detach. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Your mind will come to peace. All the stress is getting created because of attachment to results. If you can free the mind from that, you will live in the moment. And life will become so enjoyable. Why is it not enjoyable now? Because people have a destination disease. When I reach there, I'll be happy. When I reach there, I'll be happy. So the journey is an unhappy one. Now forget about the destination. Make the journey a happy one. I like to call this NATO. Not the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. That is come under question nowadays, right? This is the new NATO, not attached to outcome. Like when you play golf, it's always the score. So your mind is divided a little bit on the score and little bit upon the stroke. And you let the score be. You focus on enjoying the shot and keeping your mind there. You will discover you'll have the best game of golf in your life. And the best score as well. Because the mind will be undivided. So this is what Sri Krishna is saying. This much you can do, Arjun. There was a deer. It was pregnant and it was time to deliver its fawn baby deer. It went by the riverside, which had these rocks and pebbles, and thought this would be a good place to bring its baby forth into the world. However, few enemies appeared altogether. It heard the roar of a lion. Now this is the deer's enemy number one. On the other side came the forest fire raging close. Enemy number two of animals in the forest. And a hunter appeared and started taking aim. Above were clouds thundering and lightning shining. The deer said, where to go? Save myself from the lion or the hunter or the fire? What about the rain on top? And here is a stream of water, nowhere to run. So it said, let me follow the 11th verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Just focus on doing your bit. Then deer said, let me do my bit. It sat down at the bank and brought forth its baby while the hunter was taking aim. But there was sudden lightning and thunder that distracted the hunter, and instead of shooting the deer, the hunter shot the lion. And the forest fire that was raging, all of a sudden the rains came and it got quenched. And the deer lived, and so did its little child. The deer learned to live in the moment. So, let us all learn to enjoy the journey. There was a Zen master in Japan called Tetsu Zen. So he did not believe the 10th verse of the Gita because they don't believe in God. But he believed the 11th verse. So he was gathering money to print his book on Buddhist wisdom, in particular Zen philosophy. When a flood came in that region, all the money he had gathered, he gave it in flood relief. Then next year again he was gathering money, and when the time came, Japan is notorious for earthquakes, and an earthquake leveled so many people and so many died. So he used his money to provide relief to the distressed. Third year he managed to print his book, and he wrote out their third edition. People said, where are the first two editions? He said, as the universe wanted, they went in that way. He was willing to accept. We are always fighting with our circumstances. The moment you can accept, you come to peace. And this is also an aspect of surrender, when you have faith in God, His universe and His plan. So rather than always struggling high, why not just leave it in His hands and say, oh God, I will do my best and leave to you all the rest. So this is what Sri Krishna is saying. Just do your efforts and detach yourself from the results. In the 4th chapter, he calls this the definition of yoga. He says, who is a yogi? Yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaya. Yogi is one who can work without attachment. You may be the CEO of a company, you may be a king like Dhruv, Prahlad, Ambarish. Now they are working intelligently. A king needs to use Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed to be effective. And yet these Prahlad, Dhruv, Ambarish, Prithvi, they were detached from results. I am just doing my duty. And this is what he says. So he's given 1, 2, 3, 4. But in the next verse, he goes further down. In one verse itself. So that we will consider now. We've run out of time. We will take that tomorrow alongside with 8 other verses that remain tomorrow and day after. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki